Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited this month as it's Selective Mutism Awareness Month. We're in October. I love this month. It is great for spreading awareness, and I'm sorry I haven't made a video yet, but I'm hoping to make a couple this month just on Selective Mutism because that's the focus of the month. That's what I know about, it's what I live with, and it's something that I want to share with others. As you can see by the title of this video, my first video for Selective Mutism Awareness Month is going to be based on my fears which are surrounded by and connected to my situational mutism. I do call it situational mutism only because those who haven't prefer that term, because selective mutism implies that you select when you speak, when you don't, and let's call it SM. I think that's what I've done in other videos, so people can interpret it either way, but the professionals say selective mutism, so that's the term that unfortunately we're stuck with right now. Hopefully it may change one day, but sorry guys, I don't have the power to do that. So yeah, the fears that I'm going to be talking about today aren't necessarily to do with not being able to talk, which is weird as that's what selective mutism is, but it's the anxiety that surrounds it and that takes over your life, and especially growing up. I will try my best to get through this video without getting too emotional. Talking about selective mutism, especially growing up with it, is really hard for me, and it brings back a lot of memories that I've sort of put to the back of my mind and try to sort of remove them from my life because they do take over my life otherwise, and it's stuff that's happened in the past and I want to keep it in the past. But I said to my mum, I don't know what to film for this month. I feel bad, it's what I live with, but I just don't know what videos to put out for you guys surrounding it. So she said to do one about my fears which are connected to situational mutism when I was growing up. She said that she wished that there was a list of things that she could just tick off to know that that's what I had, because I think there's a lot more awareness of it now than when I was younger. So I'm 22 now. When I was 3 I got diagnosed with it, but basically there was a lot more to it than just not being able to talk away from my mum. My mum said that she wished that there was this checklist so she knew what it was, so I'm hoping that some of these things in the videos may help if your child goes through certain things. Obviously every child is different. I'm not saying that this is just for situational mutism or this is just one thing. This is what I had and what I went through, and nobody knew why I did, but it's all connected, so maybe it may help one person even. That's all that matters, is that I'm sharing my experiences, possibly helping others out there. I will start the video very soon. I'm about to start it, but everything that I say that I've gone through and all the fears I had as a child, I will put at the end of this video, just because it may be a lot to hold in your brain, to think about. So if it's all written down at the end, it will make more sense probably than my speeches. You all know that I do not make sense very often, but it's all there and it's simplified then without the explanation to what I had, and then you can always interpret it to what your child goes through or what personally you've been through or going through, anything. But yeah, let's get started. So I'll start from when I was younger to going older. So my mum's written down a list. I've got them on my phone, which is just underneath the camera, so if I'm looking down, that is why. But basically I've always had SM. I've always known myself to have it, and I wasn't really aware that I had it till I was year 6, when I remember a meeting at school about it. But yeah, but basically mum says that I was born with fears of everything. Normally you develop fears throughout childhood. I was born with them, and I had to learn, and still do, to learn not to fear everything. So as a baby I was a very unsettled baby. I hardly slept, I cried all of the time. Mum was the only one who could comfort me really. I mean, I was a baby, I can't remember, but that's what she says, and I don't not believe her, because that's what's in pictures is mainly me and mum. So obviously it was very hard for her. I was up all the time, I was screaming, I was crying. It was even little things that nobody thinks of, and basically anything that would draw attention to myself, that's a big no. So there's so many things that was a big deal for me, and still am. Like, I don't want to be the centre of attention, and if I'm out in public, I do not draw attention to myself. One of the things when I was a toddler that I struggled with the most was wearing like nappies which had the indicator strip on the back which said if I'd weed in it, I believe. I think that's how they work. I worked in childcare, nobody had these nappies, but I refused to wear them because thinking about it, if there is something, there's a piece of dust flying, but thinking about it, if I'd used my nappy and something showed that I used it, that's drawn attention to myself. I do not want that. So mum could not buy me those nappies because I wouldn't wear them. And even though she would know if I'd done anything in my nappies, she would know herself. I wouldn't draw attention to myself, and it wouldn't be on show to everyone what I've just done. Not that anyone sees your nappies, but I was a toddler, I didn't understand. But yeah, I just find it crazy that that's something little that might not be thought of. So mum got me only nappies which didn't have the indicator strips on because then I could use them. Moving on from nappies, going to the toilet. When I was old enough to use the toilet, I had a fear of it. I had a fear of nappies with indicator strip, fear of sleep, I'm guessing, a fear of being away from mum, and a fear of toilets. So I don't know what it was about toilets. I'm assuming it was probably falling in. I'm very little, so I probably would have fallen in. But I used the potty until I was like older than when I should have probably. But you gotta go, and I couldn't go on the toilet. So I actually remember the first time I used the toilet out in public, and that's another thing that I still can't always do, is say if I need the toilet to someone. So I do sometimes hold it in. I've gotten better, but it's one of those things like, I need the toilet, but like if I'm in a meeting, I will not go to the toilet, I will not move, because that draws attention to myself, and that says something about like what I'm about to do. So I don't do that. And yeah, I don't know too much about the toileting thing or what it was entirely, but I just had a fear of them and wouldn't use a toilet. I would use a potty by a toilet, but I would not go onto the toilet. Sorry for interrupting the video, sorry about my crazy hair as well, I've just taken it down from having it up. But basically, I just want to say that I was not an ignorant, like, or what's the word? Arrogant child, like, growing up. Basically, I wanted to do things, I just physically couldn't. Like, things that should be easy for children, I struggled with a lot. So it may come across that I was, but I wasn't. It was to do with the anxiety from the selective mutism, like, it all links together. And I also want to say that, yes, this is mainly from, like, my mum's perspective. And I just want to make it clear that my dad did try to give her a break, tried to bond with me, but I just wouldn't let it, even as a baby. Obviously there was things that my head was like, no, you're staying with mum. But I just wanted to like put that out there. Another thing that like draws attention to myself, if somebody, a really nice person, come up to me and said, I love your outfit, or I love your hairband, I love your clip, anything like that, that would be the last of it. I'm not like it now, it's how I used to be. If someone has said that to me, I would not wear that outfit, not wear that headband or that clip ever again, because that drew attention to me and I don't want it to happen again. So I would have all these nice clothes that I would only wear once, or mum would have to really persuade me to wear again, and it would have to be a break from it, because I wouldn't want that, a repeat of it happening. Even though it was such a lovely thing for someone to say to me, my brain didn't understand that it's a nice thing, you should wear it, it looks nice on you, people compliment you on it. My brain thought, ooh, go away from me, like, I don't want that, like, leave me alone. But obviously now someone says I like something, I would wear it because I know that it suits me, I know that somebody likes it, do you know what I mean? Like, if I like it, I feel comfortable in it, perfect. If someone else also likes it, then that's a bonus. But yeah, it's just really weird that how my mind works. Like, it's weird to think about like how my mind worked then, and also I wouldn't be able to always say thank you. So mum would obviously say, oh thank you, it's like really pretty, and I'd just sort of smile, or I probably didn't even smile, I probably burst into tears knowing me. I was a very cryy child, I think. Sorry everyone that knew me. But yeah, so that's something that's changed. It's just weird to think about similarities and differences from when I was a child to how I am now, because I am different, but also still completely have the SM. Maybe not as much as I used to, but I do now. So yeah, with selective mutism, obviously that meant at school I couldn't talk. I mean, I've got loads of stories from when I got like forced to talk, which is definitely the wrong thing to do, and obviously then that makes me fear it even more because of the embarrassment of it all. So I suppose that is another fear, like the embarrassment of talking in front of other people and just physically not being able to talk, but someone forcing you to do so. And like, obviously that's a horrible experience, but it's what happened several times and nobody would listen. So yeah, I got that one to the list. And the last thing is toys which made a sound or moved. I would not go near toys. I would scream, I would cry, I would avoid them at all costs. I want to say as well, like Halloween trick or treat, I still have fears of people dressing up. I wouldn't dress up because I would be drawing attention to myself by being someone that I'm not. So toys, as I say, that moved or made a sound, that's a big no, because that drew attention to something I was doing. And then at Halloween, like trick or treat dressing up, I can't stand it when people wear like something that's not natural. And I still get that now, where I can't watch certain YouTube videos when I'm eating because they look different and I can't physically eat them. Like, it's all little things that some things have carried through with me like that, but not all of them do. These are just probably like a handful of things that I went through as a kid, and as I say, sometimes I do go through them now. Not the toileting, you'll be glad to know I can use a toilet. But if I think of any more or members as well, because I don't remember all of these, or I just heard what she's told me, because obviously some of them I was a baby for. If we think of any more, I will make a part 2, hopefully this month. But anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Give it a big thumbs up if you like it. Comment anything down below or DM me on Instagram. I will put my name here or somewhere on the screen. I want to say here, but just wherever it ends up going. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!